couple of things about the music business that I would warn you about. I would tell you the first thing about the music business is that there's no money in it. And so you can't get into the music business you shouldn't get into the music business as a musical artist, as a musician, to get wealthy, because it doesn't happen. You have a better shot of winning the lottery as having a hit record. It's one thing to have a hit record even. You might have a hit record, but, then it's difficult to actually get paid.
This is true.
And so it's not that you're not talented or that you won't have a record all over the radio, and that people won't want to have your music or dance to your music. But every time you guys download a download, without paying for it, every time that a record is played on the radio, the artist, do you guys know that the person singing don't get paid when it's played on the radio? Do you know that the person, the songwriter gets paid, but not the person singing the song? In other words, I give you an example, like say a Whitney Houston, she doesn't write songs, but when she sings a song and it was all over the radio, the songwriters and publishers got paid for that, but the artist doesn't get paid for that. And so unless you're the songwriter, the producer, the own the work, all this kind of stuff here, and then take care of the business side of it to make sure that when it does generate some funds, it comes to you. And that's almost impossible to do, because if you're not with a major label, you won't be on the radio. So it's like a catch-22 there. So don't get into the music business for wealth, because it's very rare that'll happen. But get into the music business because you love music. As far as musicians go, get into it because you love music. On the business side of it, I would say anybody who's pursuing it as a business, it is exactly that. It's a business. You have to be on time. You have to be knowledgeable, and you have to at the end of the year, you got to keep your bookkeeping straight, pay your taxes, do all those things that businesses do. Report your income. Always report your income to the IRS. And I'm very serious about it. If you understand business, you form an LLC, and you do it don't do it under your Social Security name, number. You do it as a business. You form an entity other than yourself. You might form a fictional name as an artist, as a band, and you need to establish an entity and a relationship with banking and investors and the business people as a business entity, and not as Joe Blow, Social Security numbers, such and such and such. And if you do that, and the reason why you want to report your taxes is because you can also deduct them. Every time you buy some guitar strings, every time you take some music lessons, your education that you're getting, all these things are deductible. Your gas to rehearsal, your vehicle. So you want to tell the government that, yes, I made some money, but at the same time you want to tell them I didn't make any money because I had all these expenses, and that's true. That's the way it goes. So you don't have to try to hide what you're earning. You need to report it, because that's your resume. I mean, if somebody, like last year, we were fortunate enough to get an investor in my label. My label was almost about to fold up. An investor came and invested in my business. Before he invested, he wanted to know how my business was doing. So I had to send him a profit and loss statement, and he had to see what we had done, and with his investment, what we were going to do with that. So it's a business, and if I didn't have a good record keeping and things like that, then I never would have gotten to the point where I could get other people involved and get investors, and I never would get major distribution from a label if I didn't take care of business, because everything has to be accounted for. And unfortunately, that's the cold hard truth. And anybody who gets started in the business, I'll just say this: a guy told me some years ago, the best advice I think I've ever gotten was a guy that said, it's not the money you make in the business, it's what you do with the money that you make. Because we got lots of New Orleans artists, from Mystical and other people, that have made a lot of money in the business, and then they don't have anything to show for it, or they're in prison, or this, that, and other thing. And so it's not that you can't, it's not that you don't have the talent or you won't be successful, but what you do with the little money that you do get dictates whether or not you're going to be successful as in a financial sense. You know, if you get the money and you invest it well and you take care of your business, you're going to be successful, and you don't even have to be the most talented person. The person who take care of their business, they're going to make it, and their music might not be, it might be total crap, but you know, I mean, but they got their business together. So that's usually the bands that succeed, like the Dave Matthews bands and people like that. They had a good grassroots business network of people working with them, and you can take something like that and do wonders with it. And then you have other talented artists who die of drug overdoses, or, you know, I saw a documentary on Marvin Gaye the other night. I mean, Marvin Gaye, what a sad story, you know, for somebody that was so talented. Sly Stone, Jimi Hendrix, you name it, you know. Nobody is doubting talent, but you really, to be successful in the business, you really have to take care of the business. And that's not exciting and all that, and it's not sexy, but you know, you have to do that.
Well, let's give Chris a big round of applause. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.